There's a lot that goes into looking after a museum collection. All of the artifacts need to be looked after, their individual needs met by a trained professional. If you work in a museum, your job is to keep the items safe indefinitely. A historic house is used to showcase the lives of the people who once lived there. Whether they were rich or poor, a pauper or a duke, showcasing life in the past is the purpose of a heritage house. In general, most house museums have their own small collection that they display to tell a story. These types of institutions generally tell visual stories through vignettes, small scenes that are not only used to showcase the artifacts in a collection, but when shown together offer a narrative about a person or a place. In your standard museum, most objects are stored and displayed in tight cases. But for a collection in a heritage building, the task of looking after historical objects is complicated by the fact that most items are displayed openly, making proper care a more nuanced and difficult problem to tackle. One thing I would like you to keep in mind should you ever visit a heritage structure is that the building is not just a place to store and display the objects. The wallpaper, the glass that went into the windows, and all of the timber that went into its construction are significant. I want you to imagine shrinking yourself down until you're tiny, and then walking across the surface of a famous painting such as the Mona Lisa. This is what it's like to walk through a heritage house. It is neither just a building, nor is it just an artifact, so its needs are somewhat unique. Taking care of objects in a museum collection involves monitoring for fluctuations in light, moisture, and temperature. If there is too much light in a display, the colors will fade, so we monitor the amount of lux in a room. This is generally why museums are so poorly lit, to protect the objects. If there is too much moisture, wooden artifacts might mold or metal objects might rust. If it's too warm or too cold, an object might begin to buckle or fall apart, so we use data loggers to closely monitor the environment, taking precautions when necessary if the numbers are out of whack. Even if a curator is the only person to enter a collection or museum for a long time, they can still accidentally bring in pests, soil, and other debris that can be harmful. Regular cleaning allows us to keep a closer eye on the house as a whole. During cleaning routines, we might notice a conservation or storage issue, or a structural problem that can cause harm to the collection. Pest control is another important component of maintenance for a museum, as moths, carpet beetles, mice, rats, and numerous other types of creepy crawlies find most collections absolutely delicious. Looking after the building itself is another problem that curators and technicians must tackle in order to ensure that their museum is properly taken care of. An object can be put away into a temperature-controlled box, but in order to preserve a structure that was built 200 years ago, various specialists are needed to help maintain not only the house as a functioning, weatherproof building, but also to maintain the originality. It's also worth noting that the grounds that a house is located on might be historically remarkable, and might be maintained as part of the historic site as a whole. Maintaining the originality of a heritage garden and all of the upkeep that goes into that sort of thing is a whole nother video though. In summary, a lot of time and care goes into ensuring a historic collection is well looked after. To keep objects safe, the temperature, relative humidity, and the lighting all have to be set just right for the artifacts to last. Not to mention the amount of care involved in keeping a historic house standing. If you found this video informative, please like and subscribe. If you want to help support small local institutions like the one seen throughout this video, please follow the link down in the description. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.